Hey guys, it's Makaya. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and if you're not, thank you so much for joining me again today. So today's video is going to be how to highlight and contour. This is for beginners. This is for people who just want to know how to do it. This is for people who just want to know how I do it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Hey guys, so we're gonna get right into this highlight and contour video. So the first thing I'm gonna do is spray some of this Mario Badescu setting spray. I have already applied my primer and foundation, so I'm just gonna spray some of this really quickly. So the first thing I'm gonna do is contour. Now a lot of people like to highlight first and then they contour, but I like to contour first just so that the highlight and contour doesn't bleed together. I like for it to, you know, go like an ocean wave, you know, smoothly blend into each other and not like be streaky. So I like to contour first. So the first thing I'm going to use is the Black Opal True Color Foundation Stick in Suede Mocha, and it looks like this. You can find it at Target, Walmart, any place that sells Black Opal, online, anything like that. And you just roll it up like that, and this is what it looks like. So the first thing I'm gonna do is lay out my contour, which is show you guys where you're supposed to apply your contour. Now if you have a small forehead, you don't have to contour your forehead, but if you have, you know, a pretty large forehead, or you're like, you have a insecurity about your forehead, you can contour your forehead. So what I like to do is, I don't think I have a huge forehead, but I like to contour, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw a small line right there. I'm gonna do one that's gonna go in with the shape of like my hair, so like at a curve, and on the other side as well. And then when you get down to your cheeks, so when you contour your cheeks, I like to do a small line, and I like to stop it right here. I don't like to bring it all the way down because then it makes it look like I have a beard or something like that, and I don't like that, right? And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is place it right here on my jaw, just to cut that off and give my face a little bit more definition. And then what I like to do is I like to take a flat brush like this, if you can see that. I'm not sure if it's gonna focus or not, but this is the Morphe M113 brush, and I like to just take a little bit of the product on the brush, and this is what I use to contour my nose. So I like to take it from like the corner of my eye, like right in this area, and bring it down just like that. And I do the same on the other side. Just like that. Okay, so now after you've done that, you're gonna like try to figure out what kind of brush that you want to use to blend out your contour. I like to use the e.l.f. small stipple brush, and it looks like this. And I like to use this brush just because it gives me a more airbrushed finish, but you can always use a brush like this. I see a lot of people on YouTube using these type of brushes. I might go in with this one. I've never tried to contour with this, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna do both sides so I can show you guys the difference, okay? So I'm gonna use this one first. And as you can see, I'm just blending it out in circles. You never want to just do this. When you blend it out in circles, it just looks more airbrushed. I'm going to do the same thing on my forehead. And you're going to do the same thing down here on your jawline. Just blend it out in circles. And to make sure that this line is super blended out, you can go back in with your beauty blender or your foundation brush just to make sure that it doesn't look super harsh and it looks like your jaw is just made like that, right? So I'm just gonna go back in with my Morphe foundation brush. This is the Morphe S94 brush. I'm just gonna blend that out. Okay, so now I'm gonna use the Morphe M104 brush to see how this side blends out. Oh, it blends out pretty nicely. I honestly wasn't expecting it to blend out that good using this brush because this is more of a blush brush, but I actually like it. And I don't know if I told you guys this, if you watch my last video, then you know why my mouth is like, or my words are coming out like this while I'm talking like this, and it's because like my wisdom teeth are coming in, so my gums are kind of swollen. So now it's time to highlight, and I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Warm Honey. And with the highlight, you want to go, you know, 2 to 3 shades lighter than your complexion. And with contour, you want to make sure it's at least 2 to 3 shades, again, you know, darker than your complexion. But if you don't like a super bright highlight, you can always use a concealer that's your shade. But I do like a bright highlight, so, you know. So I'm going to apply the highlight to my nose first. And I'm going to just make sure there's not a lot of product on the brush because you don't want it to, you know, spill over on your nose contour that you've already placed. So you're just going to make sure you draw a thin line in between those contour lines. Just like that. And then you're going to want to place a little bit. Well, I like to place a little bit on my forehead. Just right here above my eyebrows. And then I'm going to take a little bit onto my Cupid's bow. A little bit right above my chin. I don't put it on my chin because my chin already sticks out. But if you want your chin to stick out more, you can always place some right here on your chin. And then the best part to me is the under eye part. So what you're going to do is you're going to just do a line right here. And what I like to do to make that nose look more snatched is I like to bring the concealer on the side of the contour. Just like that. And then I like to just make, you know, the angel wing that everybody on YouTube does. It's crazy, but it's definitely the best way to do it. Or you can just, you know, place your concealer like this however you want to. People do it differently. I recommend you just do the shade that you know you're going to blend it out in, just so you know you're going in the right direction. And you always want to like bring the concealer up to your like eyebrow, just to make sure, you know, you look a little more wide awake instead of like, if you know what I mean. I can't explain it, but you guys see what I mean. And yeah, that's where you place your highlight. So now what I like to do before I blend out the concealer is I like to take my setting powder that I'm going to be using. This is the LA Girl, what did I say, LA Girl? Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. And I like to just give it a shake. And I'll unscrew the top just to make sure I have enough sitting in the caps. So there's enough. And I like to leave that sitting there because, you know, once you blend out that concealer, you need to hurry up and set it with your powder before it creases. I actually just got a new concealer and I'm going to be doing a first impression / review on that. So stay tuned for that if you want to see what I'm going to be using, because everybody knows that I always use the LA Girl Pro Concealer. It's drugstore. Anybody can afford to get it. But I did want to start trying some different concealers and stuff like that just to see what I would like. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Beauty Blender, which is I'm gonna take the pointy side though, and I'm just going to blend out my concealer. I'm gonna start with my chin, my cupid's bow, my nose, and my forehead first, and then I'm gonna go to the eyes because that's the most important part to set. You have to set that immediately. So let's get to blending. And you're just gonna blend it out in patting motions. And then now with the nose part, you're gonna take the top of the Beauty Blender, you're gonna pinch it just like that and blend it out. Just like that. And then now I'm gonna blend out this concealer. You're just gonna do the same thing in patting motions. You never wanna drag. You just want to pat it in. And make sure you bring that concealer all the way up to the bottom of your lash line, your bottom lash line, because you don't want it to be any spaces that you didn't get. And you're not crazy if you make those faces. It's just like naturally, like people naturally do that when they blend out their concealer. So there's nothing wrong with you if you do that. Just like that. And now what I like to do is take my foundation brush and I like to just blend out the sides of the highlight, because I don't like for that super harsh line to be there from the highlight. So I just like to, you know, just pat it out with the foundation brush. And then I'm going to go back in with that same brush that I used to blend out the contour. And I'm going to just make sure that that line is still there and that the highlight didn't take over it. Now I'm going to go in with the same sponge and I'm going to spray some of that spray back on there just to make sure it's damp. And I'm going to go into the powder, the translucent powder. And you're going to just pull your face down like that and just set it up under your eyes. Make sure you get the sides of your nose. Just like that. The part you highlighted on your nose. Right there. And any other places that you place concealer. So above the lip, the chin, and the forehead. And I'm not really one to bake. I don't really bake a lot. But I do allow it to sit there just while I'm placing the powder on my face. And by the time I'm done placing the powder on my face, it's time for me to brush it away, because I don't really like that super powdery look. You guys, I like a lion. Especially with this upper lip part, I look like a lion. What I like to use to blend away the powder is this Morphe M462 brush, and it's a dual fiber brush. This is what it looks like. And I like to take this brush, I would say blush, and blend off the powder. And I do it in circular motions. Just like that. So now I'm just gonna set that contour with the MAC Studio Fix powder in NW48, and I'm gonna use the Morphe M400 brush, and it looks like this. Ooh, just dropped the brush. The powder looks like this. Y'all, are my hands ashy, or is that product? My hands are ashy. Let me go get some lotion real quick. Okay, so I am back with an ashy hand, and I'm just gonna go ahead and contour like I was talking about before. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that powder on the brush, and I'm just going to push the powder into the contour like this. Just like that. I'm gonna do the same with the other side. Y'all, what is it with this little piece of hair? And I'm just gonna set those contour points on my forehead. And don't forget about your jaw part. Now, yeah, I almost forgot my nose. So I'm gonna take the Maybelline Fit Me powder that I was just using, and I'm gonna take, where is it? This is the Morphe M332 brush. It's kind of like a blending brush, and I'm gonna take that and add a little bit of powder. I'm just gonna use that to set the contour on my nose. Like that. And I like to take a little bit more of that powder, and I like to put it on the sides of my nose just to make sure that it doesn't just look like I contour right here and nowhere else. So I like to bring it on the sides. That's another hack for if you like have a bigger nose and you want to contour it. You just add a little bit of dark powder on the sides, and it just brings it in more. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was very helpful. I hope you learned something. I am doing a giveaway. I'm going to be doing a giveaway really soon for when I hit 10K, so don't hesitate to subscribe. Leave comments if you have any. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye, you guys.